Good morning, everybody. This is Dilip Sridhar from Unwired. I will be the host for today. Welcome to this webinar on Chyme Help Desk for Digital Assistants. Can you please confirm to me that you are able to hear me? One of you, please. Probably my colleague Alok can confirm that you can hear me. Okay, thanks. So, a brief introduction about myself before we go ahead and start. I'm Dilip Sridhar, Vice President of Products for Unwired. I'm responsible for Chyme, Help Desk, and the other products of Unwired. And I will be taking you through this presentation. The agenda for today's webinar is to understand the digital help desk opportunity and the solution, the conversational UI concept, and then look at a demo of Chyme Digital Assistant for help desk, and then towards the end we shall have the Q&A session. So what is Chyme and what are digital assistants? We will look at that. Chyme is an enterprise-grade digital help desk assistant. It can be used for customer service, for brands engaging with their customers, providing them support, or it could be used as an internal help desk scenario inside an organization for IT help desk, HR help desk, and many other internal support for employees. Chyme Help Desk Digital Assistant integrates with any help desk system, any voice and text messenger. It could be a social messenger like Facebook or an enterprise messenger like Skype, Slack, Spark, any messenger. It's of course powered by natural language and artificial intelligence. So before we go ahead and look at Chyme Digital Assistant for Help Desk deeply, let us understand what is the digital assistant, especially when there are multiple definitions of digital assistants and chatbots going around. So what is the definition of our digital assistant? A digital assistant is a set of capabilities, it's a set of skills. Each skill could be pertaining to a specific task in a business area. It could be in a customer service like returning an order, or it could be in an enterprise scenario where you could be asking for a password change or an address change. So it's a set of skills. And skills are a set of conversations, each conversation being a set of messages, and these conversations and messages are deeply context enabled so that in a continuous flow of messages across topics, the context can be recognized very easily. The messages are exchanged between the people and the bots. Bots are programs in the background that are connecting to various enterprise systems, fulfillment systems, and executing and providing responses. So the digital assistant facilitates the conversation between the user on one side and the bots on the other side where required. So that is an overview of what a digital assistant is, what its building blocks are. Having said that, let us go ahead and look at what exactly the Chyme Digital Assistant Help Desk does, right? There are broadly there are two scenarios. One is a customer assistant. A customer assistant is mainly for brands to engage with their customers from social channels to solve their customer issues. It could be from social channels like Facebook or from contact center chat applications embedded on websites. These could be using the help desk, any help desk system, and engage the customers via customer assistant. This could be for helping customers to change their addresses or return an order or checking their order status. It could be any such business scenario. The other scenario is the employee assistant. This is for employees, vendors inside an organization where the IT issues or HR issues can be solved for employees and vendors using any enterprise messenger and any help desk system. So this could be used on Slack, Skype, Spark, or even on a Chyme enterprise messenger. Yes, Chyme also has an enterprise messenger. The various business scenarios include unlocking your user IDs, resetting your passwords, managing your DevOps systems, your cloud servers, or it could be your HR scenarios, or it could be even your sales help desk to support your salespeople in a retail scenario, right? Providing access rights, any scenario where an employee requires help. So these are the two broad scenarios of Chyme digital help desk assistance. In this context, what are we really trying to do with our digital help desk? What is the problem and what is our solution? If you look at a traditional help desk as a reverse pyramid, the human involvement in a traditional help desk is very high. In the reverse pyramid model, you will see that the large number of repetitive incidents at the top, these are handled by many agents, many people providing support. This is followed by smaller number of medium complexity incidents, again more people supporting these, and then a small number of complex incidents which are handled by specialized people, and fewer because they are fewer in number, and the division of people across these incidents is basically proportional to the number of incidents you are handling. Now, in this context, as I mentioned, the human involvement is very high, so the support cost is high too. So in the Chyme world, the human involvement in the help desk is turned over the head, and basically reduce the human involvement in a help desk, and in the pyramid is basically turned over to the other side, where we focus on solving the large number of repetitive incidents through automation using bots. So any business scenario or any help required which can be automated is completely automated, so that you can execute these tasks in any fulfillment system automatically, eliminating agents completely from handling such mundane repetitive tasks. Then the smaller number of complexity incidents are solved through self-service knowledge articles. In the self-service knowledge articles, it is powered by artificial intelligence and machine learning, so that when employees or customers are requesting help, you provide the right information the first time, rather than trying to uh, provide the problem description multiple times and trying to figure out which is better based on the past experience, the history, the data that has been collected over the past, knowing what has worked and what has not worked. These are factored into artificial intelligence machine learning, and then the right results are given contextually to the problem at hand. So this reduces the number of agents who are handling such incidents, because most of the time the AI powered knowledge search is solving the problem for the customer. What this does is basically leaves a more number of human agents to solve those complex incidents, and here too the Chyme help desk basically helps in human agent transfer, where the incident could not be handled or solved by the help desk in terms of automation and self-service. They are routed to human agents with complete context, the chat transcript, so the human agents can go ahead and look at this and then solve the problems. Of course, not repeating what the bots have already tried or what has already been suggested. So this basically reduces the turnaround time and reduces support cost for customers. What are the Chyme digital help desk differentiators? Firstly, it is natural language enabled. So all conversations are natural language enabled. So people can use any of their text messengers or voice messengers and engage in a normal conversation with enterprise systems or with your help desk system, rather than using forms to create incidents and following up with notes and other things. And a natural language conversation will be useless without deep context identification. That's where we come to our next biggest differentiator. So the deep context identification identifies the context of the conversation and deals with the right problem. So in case a customer or an employee, they're having multiple problems and discussing multiple problems on a chat, the context is rightly identified and the conversation flows just the way you're talking to another human. And of course, there are machine learning models to solve specific problems in the help desk. We will look at those machine learning models shortly. The biggest saving in a help desk scenario comes from automation. That's one of our biggest strengths. So Chyme has a solution inside help desk, basically can connect to any fulfillment system, So when you're automating tasks, it can be in any fulfillment system. You could connect to your Salesforce or ServiceNow or SAP or via Windows Active Directory, Windows Office 365, NetSuite, any such system to execute any of your fulfillment tasks. These could be helping a salesperson get the information, or this could be helping an IT person manage their Active Directory or their Office 365 or their AWS servers. It could be anything. So automation basically is complete only when you can talk to a fulfillment system and execute those tasks there. That's exactly what Chyme does. On one end, talk to those fulfillment systems and executing those tasks. On the other end, recording these incidents in a help desk system like ServiceNow or any other help desk system. The next differentiator is about providing omni-channel experience for customers and employees. That means they should be able to use any messenger or any voice assistant of their choice. So in a consumer scenario, it could be any social channel or a contact center application, or in an employee scenario, it could be any enterprise messenger which the enterprise is already using. So that basically helps them reuse what they have and still provide their help in a conversational UI. And of course, finally, the Chyme algorithm for help desk that basically takes care of orchestrating all this and reducing the human involvement by moving the conversations across automation, self-service, and then transferring it to the agent, so on and so forth. And I did mention briefly that the solution is machine learning powered, artificial intelligence enabled. So what exactly are we doing in help desk with machine learning? In a self-service scenario, one of the fundamental aspects of a self-service is making it extremely efficient. That means providing a solution to the customer or the employee in the first hop. So serving these knowledge articles based on historical effectiveness is very important. That's where the machine learning models and deep learning comes into picture, where what has worked in the past is taken into account, and then the right answers are provided to the users. The second one is about auto-categorization. Especially in a consumer scenario where there are a large number of incidents, efficient distribution of incidents are very important. Otherwise, the lead time is going to increase. So to decrease the lead time, the correct disbursement of incidents depends on automatic categorization. Right? So this is again solved by machine learning. And then we talk about automation all the time, but how do we know what to automate? Right? Is somebody sitting and deciding it all the time? Yes, somebody could do that. The more efficient way is the system or the solution recognizing what is repeating over a period of time and suggesting those so that we can take intelligent decisions about either automating them or creating self-service articles for repetitive problems, so that we don't have to handle them again as a human. So this and more are the innovations that we are bringing into digital assistants and help desk, so that the help desk is freed from human involvement at the very top level, and people can focus on more productive complex tasks at the bottom of the pyramid in the help desk world. So this is the overview of Chyme, digital assistant for help desk. At this point, we will move to a demo and see the help desk in action. So in the demo today, we are going to be seeing two scenarios. One is an enterprise scenario. We'll focus on IT help desk using Skype. And the next one will focus on a sales scenario, a retail sales help desk scenario, right? And as a part of this demo, we will see the three scenarios that we just discussed. One is the automation, the second one is self-service, and finally the third one is about creating an incident and transferring it to a human agent. So let us start with SAP. I'm a normal user, and today I want to log into my SAP system, right? So let me see if I can remember the password. But it's been quite some time since I really logged in, I'm trying a password, and I clearly get an error saying the name or password is incorrect, and I don't seem to be recollecting what the password is. So a normal course of action would be to go and create an incident so that my IT help desk can go ahead and reset the password and I can go ahead and log in. But this would take time, right? There is some kind of turnaround time, which is probably 30 minutes or an hour. How would it be if this can be solved by a bot for me without me having to wait and having the luxury of working at my convenience? What I'm going to do is going to start my Skype Messenger. In Skype Messenger, I'm just going to say I need help. This is basically I'm talking to my help desk assistant, which has been added as a contact in my Skype. So it's my digital employee. It's asking me what it can help me with. So what I'm going to say is to reset my password. As soon as I say this, the digital assistant for help desk recognizes that this is a task that has been automated and is asking me to choose from the list of systems for which the password reset has been automated. Here let me say I am interested in doing this for SAP because that's what I'm trying to use currently. Immediately it's giving me a response saying it's working on this problem and it shall solve it for me shortly. It's trying to reset the password. Wow, it's also telling me it's taking a little longer, but then voila, it's come back with a message. Here it's saying that your password has been reset for the system SAP. The new password has been sent to me by email, and also an incident got created and closed automatically, and the incident reference is available. So firstly, the digital assistant for help desk did the task, and then of course did not put the password out on my chat, but instead sent me an email so that it can be securely done, respecting the security and privacy. And finally also created an incident so that this can be tracked in a help desk system. First, let's see if this has worked. Let's go to my mailbox and see if I have received any new email with a password reset. Sure. So I have received an email here which is giving me a new password for the SAP system. So I'm just going to copy this and open my SAP system here, paste it, and just go ahead and log in. Now you can see that the password that was sent to me by email has worked, and as per my password policy in my company, it's asking me to change the password on first login, right? I don't want to do that. Let's continue with the demo. So that worked. At the same time, it's also created an incident for us. Let's go ahead and look at this incident. This has been created in a ServiceNow system, which is our incident management system here, and we shall see what's happened there. In the meantime, let me thank this because it solved my problem. So let me go to the ServiceNow system and go to the incident list here. I just copied the incident reference number there, and I'm just going to search for this. And sure, we got that incident. What you will see is that this incident basically was categorized properly as a password reset, and there's a description very clearly saying that the password was reset for the system SAP and what was the user. The incident got closed. But at the same time, you can also see there's a note with the entire chat transcript so that there's an audit trail for you to go back and see if in case you need to check something back about this conversation or about this incident or about this task that was done. So a complete 360 degree view of the automation task, how it was executed, and then finally the chat transcript captured in an incident. That was the first scenario. And next, after looking at the automation scenario, let's look at the self-service scenario. Again, let's say I need help. Now let me pretend as though my web conference is not really working well. So I'm just going to say the conference not connecting, right? I have a demo, I need to get into a demo, but then my web conference not working. So what happens is it recognizes that this kind of an issue is not automated, but it's trying to go ahead and figure out what might be the problem. So it goes to my knowledge base and searches for what can be the best solution for this problem based on the historical context in terms of what has worked in the past, and it's giving me a suggestion here. If I want to read this more, I can go ahead and say I want to read this, or I can go ahead and say next, so it can serve out the next best result for me. Okay, it's come back to me with the article. I can start looking at this, and if this solves my problem, great. Otherwise I can go ahead and say next, right? Instead of doing that, let's say it did not work for me, right? Let's be a little cheeky here and say this did not work. Now it's intelligently going and trying to see if there are any workarounds for this, because many times the IT provides temporary workarounds, or it could even be permanent workarounds to solve the problem. Here it's telling me to use some other browser instead of Chrome, asking me to use Safari or Firefox because sometimes Link has a problem here, right? So good. This, let's say again, this did not solve my problem. Also you can see the user interface where in a mobile first world, or let's say today in a messaging world, we don't even want to type. I can just choose this option or even give my confirmation saying this solved or did not solve. I just said this did not solve. So now from the self-service mode, it's basically asking me if it needs to go to a human agent. So if it wants me to create an incident, let me say yes, go ahead. Please create an incident because I don't have a solution. And it's asking me if the incident description should be about web conference not connecting. I would say yes, that is accurate. I don't want to add any more information. And now it will go ahead and create the incident in the ServiceNow system, add the complete chat transcript there, and give me a reference so that I can use this. So you can see that it's created an incident for me, and it's also telling me that I will be updated. I have two profiles associated with my user. One is both as an end user and also as an agent. That's why I'm also getting the other options. Whereas an agent, I can also go ahead and modify this incident. First, let us look at this incident in the ServiceNow system, which got created for a human agent to look at. Here again we can see that the incident got created and the complete chat transcript here, so that a human looking at it can basically see what has been suggested, what has worked, what has not, and then proceed with that conversation. Let us say I'm the agent now, right? Now basically I look at this problem and then I just want to take this on my name and start working on this. I can just go ahead and say update the state. It's asking me to choose the state. I'm saying it's active because I'm going to be working on this. So I just chose the active option. I'll go ahead and update the incident with that option. Once it does that, I also, let's say, want to assign it to a team member because I realize that I just have too many incidents. I'm just going to say assign this incident and say assign this to Beth, who is a colleague of mine, and then you will see that this can go ahead and update the incident and give this to Beth so that Beth can look at this and solve the problem for us. Great. Now let's go back to the ServiceNow system and refresh our incident. Good, it's been assigned to Beth and it's also active, right? So this was about using an external messenger to look at the help desk from an automation standpoint, from a self-service standpoint, and an agent standpoint, right? Next, even though we are looking at the IT help desk, I would like to show you a small scenario of how you can also support your sales executives, or let's say a sales help desk. I'm just going to show this to you on our messenger called Chyme, just to show you about a different flavor. So I'm just going to start a new conversation and go ahead and say, let's say I'm a salesperson of a CPG company, so I need to visit my retailers and I need some information about my retailer, but I just can't, I don't have the information at hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my messenger instead of opening a bulky app with all kinds of scenarios whose manageability itself is difficult because you need to keep updating the apps, manage the apps. Instead, just use a messenger and allow any business scenario to be used, right? So help a sales executive with their work. It's asking me which customer do you want. I'm just going to go ahead and say, give me, I'm visiting Amadeus today. And this is going to go ahead to my sales system. In this case, it's SAP, and give me the information about the customer. Good, I got the address. Now I just want to also figure out the credit info before I go there and visit my customer. I just want to know what the credit limits are, what's been consumed, and we will see that, okay, these are the credit limits, what's available, what's already been consumed. I could continue this conversation, go ahead and keep choosing or keep typing natural language requests to go ahead and get more and more such information, right? And a sales executive being able to do his job or her job without having to call anybody and get this information from a central office or rely on applications, but simply from chat. You can see here that we even have an invoice, right? So this is about a salesperson getting help from their help desk digital assistant. With this, we would like to open the floor for questions. So if you have any questions, please use your chat and send us the list of questions and we would answer them one by one.